Hello guys, 38% of all the Russian oil refining facilities stopped working, and all because of the Ukrainian drone sanctions. During August and September alone, we destroyed more than 20 different oil refineries in very distant parts of the Russian Federation, and the Kremlin could not protect them. Even though all of us know Russia is a country totally dependent on the sales of its resources like oil and gas, but now they lack gasoline even for their internal needs. 38% of all the oil refining facilities destroyed with inexpensive drones within a very short period of time. And as I record this video, another oil refinery, one of 5 largest inside Russia, is burning, YAROSLAVL oil refinery. And their desperate local authorities, propagandists keep saying these are not Ukrainian drones. This is an unexpected fire, and I don't mind as long as this fire goes in line with our strategy to defeat Russia, to demilitarize Russia by destroying their economy and war machine. And trust me, Putin does not have any other plan but conscript more war criminals to the front lines, and we all know what awaits them. Because here in Ukraine, we stand for our motherland, we protect our homes, our hospitals and schools, and God is definitely on our side, same as our beautiful community. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, in brave capital Kyiv. Subscribe to demonstrate your solidarity and to witness the collapse of the Kremlin regime, and please share these videos to spread the truth. So let's begin with this extraordinary information. This happens for the first time in history of Russia, be it Empire, Soviet Union or the Russian Federation. All of these regimes were dependent on Russian natural resources, and now they experience the greatest troubles in the area. 38%. Actually, some newspapers say 40%, but you know, with these Russian refineries that keep exploding, it may be 50 sometime soon. So 38% of all the oil refining facilities inside the Russian Federation stopped working because of the Ukrainian drone sanctions, because of the damage these inexpensive weapons of the 21st century do to evil instruments of the Russian war economy. This is something no one could have predicted back in 2022, and that is one more reason why I keep reminding you, do not predict the future of this war, the future of Ukraine or Russia based on your 20th century experience. Focus on the new things, on this creativity that the Ukrainian armed forces constantly implement to expose that Russia is the paper tiger. So apart from these oil refineries that are not operating, Russians do not have a solution on how to repair them. And here I have to thank your governments for the imposed sanctions, and there are many of them, but these sanctions actually prevent the Kremlin from buying the necessary parts for the repairs and maintenance of these destroyed oil refineries. Since 2010, Russia, understanding that trade of energy resources is the central source of income, invested billions of dollars in the renovation of the oil refineries. And they were built with parts and software, hardware from the European Union, from the United States. And now they cannot substitute these parts with the Russian or Chinese elements. They are not working properly. That's why one by one, or should I say dozen by dozen, 100 by 100, these refineries, depots, pumping stations, pipelines, and even export ports like ones in Tuapse and Novorossiysk shut down. And they create larger and larger deficit even on this internal market of gasoline, of oil products in Russia. People literally don't know what to do. They could not predict that war would return back home, just as it always happens, and subscribe to witness how we keep demilitarizing Russia, bringing peace and security to Europe and the world. Because a couple of minutes before I started recording the video, I've read some updates that drones from my native region, Volyn, were also close to border with Poland, and Russians keep escalating. Russians keep sending either drones or even their jets to airspace of NATO. We're doing our best to destroy these instruments of war still on the Ukrainian side, but with hundreds during such combined attacks, it can be quite difficult. So our strategy to destroy their war machine, to ruin their war economy, actually protects Poland, the Baltics, and even the United States, because the Kremlin has developed a lot of evil hybrid strategies against our democratic societies. And I feel that more and more people around the world, not only beautiful members of our community, come to understand that. So we may say that some historical times are ahead of the Russian Federation. It has a great potential to dissolve one beautiful day, and these long queues for gasoline, these long queues for basic products resemble the USSR just before its collapse. And during this very short period of time, the deficit of fuel and oil products grew 20% inside the Russian Federation. That is totally unbelievable, because for many of countries in Europe before the full-scale invasion, for China, Russia has always been a gas station, and now they are preparing to import gasoline from other countries. So these news from another Russian oil refinery, YAROSLAVL, and that is one of 5 largest inside Russia. It actually produces 15.7 million tons per year. They experience a huge fire, and I've shared some videos on X, on Blue Sky. Subscribe to my Instagram and all of these social media threads and our Discord community. You will find the links in the description of this video. I'm always happy when our communities grow stronger everywhere, because we support each other, we help each other, we protect each other in these very dangerous and chaotic times. And trust me, Putin is mad. He does not know how to end this war. All he planned was blitzkrieg. It failed, and after that the problems and troubles inside the Russian Federation only kept amassing, growing. And there are dozens of reasons why we will witness the collapse of that regime really soon, but so far they will keep threatening the world, they will keep escalating. And this new conscription, this new draft, fall draft, is the largest in recent 9 or 10 years. Different sources report it differently, but we have to know Putin wants to draft approximately 135,000 new war criminals and send them to the front lines. But unfortunately, with each week, we see that he speaks about more countries in that aggressive manner, as he began with Ukraine, with Georgia. Now he speaks that way about Latvia, about Estonia, about Finland, about Poland, about the United Kingdom. And we don't need to be afraid, because, come on, everyone thought Ukraine would surrender in 3 days, in 48 hours. And I have a feeling that here in Ukraine, we will witness the collapse of the Russian Federation together with you. And NATO countries, European countries are way stronger. And we are stronger together. We have this unique Ukrainian experience. We have this knowledge of the war of the 21st century, because most of problems and victories on the front lines, both in Ukraine and Russia, are delivered with drones, with robots, with artificial intelligence solutions. Of course, people are heroes, people are central for the Ukrainian armed forces, and today we celebrate the day of the defender of Ukraine. This is not the same as the day of the armed forces, because in Ukraine there are lots of defenders who were not a part of the Ukrainian army when they took weapons in their arms to protect every street, every school, every shop from the Russian invaders at the very beginning of 2022. But during these years, we grew stronger. Russia gets weaker and we grow stronger because you help us, because you inspire us, but also because we learn and because we stand for our families, for our motherland. That is very different from what Russia does and their soldiers. So no matter how many people they conscript, we will win this war. And believe me, the process of that defeat of the Russian Federation, their active demilitarization and future collapse has already started. Subscribe to witness that together. Also follow me on social media, check our merch shop, lots of good items that turn you into our ambassadors, and please let me know how these t-shirts and sweatshirts help you start conversations and remind people about the need to defeat the Kremlin and support Ukraine to make Europe and the world a safer place. Thank you for buying me coffees. I drink a lot of them in Kyiv. It's a beautiful monster that steals a lot of your time. Let me know, are you available for a live stream this Saturday? And thank you for becoming patrons and sponsors. And thank you for being friends of Ukraine. United we stand. Slava Ukraini!